Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me today for this webcast at the Veterans Career Expo here at the Rural Capital Area Workforce Solutions. My name is Leslie Stearns. I'm one of the 3 talent development facilitators and cover our southern region of our Workforce Solutions Rural Capital Area. After this webcast, we will have the opportunity for questions and answers. You can ask your questions and enter them in the chat box, and we'll cover those as soon as we're finished. Let's get started. This webcast covers the top 10 tips for resumes. What is the purpose of a resume? It's to provide a summary of your skills, abilities, and accomplishments. It's a quick advertisement of who you are. It's a snapshot of you in the intent of capturing and emphasizing interest and to secure you a job interview. Here are the key points that we will cover. 1, focus on a specific occupation. Generally, resumes rarely work in today's job market, especially if your resume has an objective and it lists several unrelated fields. If you're pursuing different occupations, it's important to write a separate resume for each one. Be sure to list the most important information first and customize your resume for each employer. A resume sent to a staffing service for a variety of openings in your field may have more general information than a resume that you might tailor for a specific job opening or company. Be sure to select an easy-to-read format. Write clear, concise statements and have a template that will pass the applicant tracking system. Include qualification summaries with keywords from the job description. This will surely get the attention of the hiring manager and score high with an applicant tracking system. Limit your resume to 1 or 2 pages. Begin statements with action verbs. This helps describe what you did. Employers will know a lot more about your skills when you begin statements with a descriptive verb. Use present tense for verbs for current job and past tense for verbs of previous work experiences. Add accomplishments where appropriate. Proofread your resume. Focus on specific occupations. Target and focus your job search eliminates the stress of sending out mass applications and the waiting game. Search for specific industries and companies or areas helps you to identify positions that you qualify and are interested in. List the most important information first. Your opening statement should describe the skills and attributes you have that suit you to the job. Providing a well-written qualification section is key to having the person or the applicant tracking system, known as an ATS, choose your resume to move on to the next level of the interview process. The most precious piece of real estate in your entire resume is the top first half on the first page. At a cursory glance, this is an area that is going to get the most attention. You should say what you wish to say directly, simply, and briefly. Focus on the values you bring to the table. With the applicant tracking systems, be sure to take time to enhance your chances of having your resume chosen for interview. Use that job description as a valuable tool to highlight wording and phrases and include those in your resume to increase that ATS score. Customize your resume for each employer. We used to have one resume and send that out to all of the places we applied to. Now it's important to tailor every job application must have its own unique resume highlighting your knowledge, skills, and ability directly to the position you're applying for. So companies are looking for people who pay attention to detail. By researching the company and the job to find out what keywords to include, you can create customized cover letters and exceptional resumes. When you are well versed in the company and the job description, you'll be ready to talk and take actions when it also comes time for the interview process. Select an easy-to-read resume format. Here are a couple of styles. A chronological resume is mostly used when applying for similar work you've held before in your last employments. It's also best used for internet job boards. Effective with job seekers with consistent work experience. You might choose to use the combination format. This is used by career changers and military veterans transitioning into civilian jobs. You can use your highlights and skills and qualifications to show how you relevantly match to what the employer is seeking for. It also downplays recent work history. A functional resume is used by students or those with long gaps in work history. For instance, if you have to have an interruption in your career to take care of a loved one or a family member, you can highlight those transferable skills that you did while taking care of that individual, either through your education, your volunteering, and personal experience can also be highlighted in a functional resume. There's no one right format to use. The best resume is the one where you get contacted from. When creating your resume, write clear and concise statements. Today's resumes need to have impactful statements with action verbs rather than a vague list of your previous job duties. Here are some examples. One of your job duties you might have written, responsible for floor displays. A better way to word that could be, set up floor displays according to visual marketing standards on a monthly basis within a 12-hour time limit. Another statement you could have on your resume might read, responsibilities include answering phones. A way to enhance that statement, you might write, answer to multi-line telephones for 65 or more employees and routed calls after screening requests. Qualifications summary with keywords. Be sure to include a qualification summary using the words directly from the job description to enforce specific skills, experience, and education. Add examples of key skills that you have also in the job requirements. List the most important information on the top half of that first page. Remember, that first top half is the best real estate of your resume. List computer skills, list software, hardware, technical skills that you match with the job. When putting a qualifications section on your resume, you might want to relabel it for each job that you apply to. For example, if you are applying for a hiring manager position, you might list that qualifications section as hiring manager qualifications. If you're applying for an administrative assistant, you might change that section to read administrative assistant qualifications. By adding the job title directly in that top portion of the qualifications section, you've not only got the interest of the hiring manager or person that's scanning your resume because you've got their job title, but you also have had two other words or more for the applicant tracking system scoring your resume higher to be chosen by that internet tracking. Limit your resume to 1 or 2 pages. Most resumes are just that, 1 to 2 pages. Be sure to list key skills you've learned in school and work experiences, education and academic achievements, any classes, training, or certifications you might have achieved. Add your personal and academic projects that you've been in charge of or completed. And list awards and accomplishments. In your job description on your resume, go beyond listing the day-to-day task responsibilities. Think bigger. Employers want to know that you'll accomplish if you're hired on, and make sure that the most relevant accomplishments are the ones that readily translate to the job you want and are most visible. Begin statements with action verbs. Organizational skills, other action verbs that you could use for that type of skill would be filed, maintained, prepared, arranged, cataloged, or categorized. For communication skills, you might use the verbs of articulated, persuaded, drafted, edited, presented, translated, or authored. For achievements, you could expand with action verbs that you've completed, you exceeded, improved, surpassed, and accomplished. By adding accomplishments where appropriate, you can have a separate section for the following in order to enhance your resume. Did you know, according to the survey conducted on LinkedIn, 41% of employers find volunteer work just as valuable as paid work? So think about including and listing your volunteer activities, any professional associations or other organizations you might have been a member of. Quick tip, make sure to include activities that enhance your resume and don't detract. Be careful about mentioning organizations that are politically or religiously affiliated to avoid bias on the part of the employer. Only add information if it is relevant to the job you're seeking. Proofread your resume. Very important. Read it line by line, word by word. Go slowly and read each word without skimming. Read it aloud. Reading it backwards is the best way to find any misspells or phrasing that might be a little odd. Use an online program to scan your resume. Have someone else proofread it for you. Print it out. Contact a Workforce Solutions talent development specialist to assist you with proofreading your resume and giving you pointers as well. Any staff member can help you. WorkinTexas.com Resume Builder. WorkinTexas.com is used by the Workforce Solutions rural capital area. This is a website where employers and job seekers can create profiles, not only to look for jobs and post jobs, but you have the opportunity to create resumes, cover letters, and state applications. You have the ability to store multiple copies of your resume and applications, up to 5 resumes, and unlimited state applications. You have the option to upload or create the resume using the generated template. The template will allow you to use specific occupation titles with pre-written descriptive text that you can choose to add directly to your resume. It's easy to download and complete a resume. You can save your resume in multiple formats, whether it be a PDF or a Word document. There's no cost to job seekers to use the website or employers. I want to thank you for joining me today with the topic of Top 10 Resume Tips. The Workforce Solutions Rural Capital Area is a community partnership providing no-cost recruitment and employment services to business and job seekers in the rural capital area. We service a 9-county area. You can access all of our workshops, job hiring events, as well as Hire Now, child care, and other services we provide can all be found at our website of workforcesolutionsrca.com. Again, I really appreciate you taking the time of your virtual job fair to join me for this webcast. I will now take any questions.